much closer together. And when we sing, we're definitely a group. So don't be shy. It's going to feel really good. Here's what we want you to do. We'll sing it for you. It goes like this. Your turn. We'll do it again. You go.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you, Paul. All right, we'll see you later, Natasha. Hey, Boozhoo, and welcome back to the show. Let me slide myself over. Welcome back to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Nanaboozhoo. That was Natasha and Paul Stanley. And we also have Michael Lyons. And today, this is our live stream on a Sunday morning on an Anima A GOFUNDME, on a prayer morning. In the Anishinaabe language, in the Ojibwe language, we call Sundays prayer day. Anima A GOFUNDME. Anima A GOFUNDME. And I just want to start the show by saying Boozhoo and Mino GOFUNDME. Hello, good morning to the Boozhoo crew. And it looks like Sheila's here. Boozhoo, Sheila. And Flash Lumpskity. Hold on a second here. We got some technical difficulties here. Michael's little green screen head covering just covered up his whole face. Dude, I'm going to have to pull that off your head. How's that? That's a lot better. All right. Sorry, guys. The live early morning stream. So, what's his name? Flash Slump City. Aniniji. How are you? Anishna. Oh, Mino GOFUNDME. Mino GOFUNDME. I'm good. How are you? And Grieving Turtle here is Boozhoo. Good, nice to see you. And Sheila Hoa. And Jim Dunn is here. Boozhoo Jim. And Jessica Gonzalez. All right. What do you think, sweetie? Boozhoo, everybody. Natasha says hello. So, yeah, Anima A GOFUNDME, Sunday, the prayer day, and it's been pretty cloudy and rainy this week, huh, sweetie? It sure has. You can't go crying around about the weather. That's one thing I've learned. Maybe it's because we live in Minnesota. Like, what's the point? It's like, oh, it's too cold. Yeah, well, you live in Minnesota. What'd you expect? And but we still do. So, one of the hardest things about living in Minnesota isn't the cold so much. That gets kind of exciting. I mean, it's a pain in the neck because when it gets like 30 below, just stuff freezes up. your house, your survival's at risk. But it's not boring. It's not depressing. What's depressing is not seeing the sun when it's all gray and cold. But, so you can end up feeling like this little skunk here. This little jagog. This little skunk, it's gray and it's rainy. It's cold, and he's got the sniffles. He's got the, Also, this time of year is there's pollen and stuff, so you get you can get allergies or something. And anyway, but for today's Ojibwe phrase of the day, I say you still need to be grateful. You need to thank the Creator for even the weather. I remember my grandma, every time, it was always the same conversation. Oh, wow, it's gonna rain again today, Grandma. Oh, yep, well, we need it. We need it. It's like, why do you need it, Grandma? You're an 80-year-old woman. You don't even have a garden anymore. What are you planning on going out and, are you worried about the crops this year? Oh, we need it. But she just grew up knowing that, yeah, hey, by the way, you kind of need water for things to live. And for it to rain, it's got to be cloudy. You need the clouds to make the rain, to make it grow. So quit your whining. I mean, she wouldn't say that. It just wouldn't occur to her. But she would have thanked Gitche Manadu, the Great Spirit, for even the cloudy days. So we say, Gitche Manadu. Yeah, what you want? Do we got to do this every day? What's that, my son? When I say your name, I'm not necessarily calling out to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Great Spirit. Oh, Boozhoo, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to the show. Yeah, he likes to chime in sometimes. I'm not chiming in. I thought you were calling to me. I want you to know I'm listening. And if you need your Gitche Manadu, if you need to speak to your Creator, all you got to do is call out to me in prayer. Yeah, okay. Can I continue? Yeah, go ahead. Who's stopping you? You sound kind of crabby. Oh, I'm an angry God. Yeah, never mind. All right, Gigabab in Minawa. Yeah, Gigabab in Minawa. Gitche Manadu. Anyway, so you say, Gitche Manadu. I don't know. When you're praying, when you have a prayer, you say, Miigwech, Gitche Manadu. Thank you, Great Spirit. Miigwech, Gaiji Webuk. The weather. Thank you for the weather. Whatever the weather is. If it's cloudy, you would say, Ningwakod. No, you wouldn't. You'd say, Ningwakod. Ningwakod. You'd say, Ningwakod, honey. Honey? What's a honey? I mean honey. Ningwakod. It is cloudy. Ningwakod. I don't know. Why do I always say that weird? It is cloudy. Ningwakod. And then sometimes when it's cloudy, it can be cold. So you say, Brr, Gisana. Gisana. It is cold. Oh, what? So cold. I got the sniffles. But even so, Miigwech Gitche Manadu. Gaiji Webuk. Ningwakod. Dash Gisana. But I am Ni Miigwech Wendem. But I am grateful. And then you would just say, Otapanaman niwi asema, accept my tobacco. Hey, Gitche Manadu, Otapanaman niwi asema, accept my tobacco. Yeah, all right. What are you going to do? Put it in a pipe and smoke it? Oh, I thought I'd put it out in like a tree. Yeah, that works too. All right. Anyway, there's a lot of ways you can pray. Whatever, however you feel good, you just pray. And then you can say, Miigwech, Bizandawi, I Gitche Manadu. Thank you for listening. Apenge. Amen. Or whatever. Or if you're, woke, you say, a woman. Oh, but there is no such thing as gender. Well, then what is the gender pay gap? I identify... Oh, can you guys hear those sirens? It's Bemidji's finest. Justice will be served. You think justice will be served, sweetie? I think that sounds like an ambulance. Oh, yeah, it's probably an ambulance. It's probably somebody starting their journey this morning. Probably some elder is... We live not far from like a nursing home. So every once in a while you see an ambulance just racing down the street. Gonna go pick up, try to, There's a job you can't really win at, ambulance driver. Sooner or later, people are gonna die. Boozhoo crew. Doesn't everybody die in the end? And good morning. Welcome to the lighthearted educational children's show. That's what we are, sweetie. We're an alternative to Sesame Street. I hear there's a new character on Sesame Street. Yeah, there's a new family. It's like a black guy and his son or something. Yeah, no, even... Oh, Matt. Is the ambulance coming here? Did you call the ambulance? That thing went right by the house. Yeah, we get it. You guys are in a rush. You don't need the siren if nobody's on the street. Anyway. Oh, look at me. I'm all annoyed. I'm trying to do something really a little more important than you guys, ambulance drivers. Can you keep it down? You're distracting me from teaching the language. From speaking about the ways of the Anishinaabe. It is sacred. I don't know. Anyway, what was I talking about? There's a new character on Sesame Street. He's just a white guy, and you just blame everything on him. That's not true. I don't think it is. I think that was a meme I saw, but I'm not 100% sure. It could be true. It's gotten to the point where you're not even sure if it's a joke anymore. Like, would Sesame Street actually get a white guy on there and then just say, today's Sesame Street is brought to you by the letter P for patriarchy. And today, oh, look who's here. A white man. A chamuk. Yeah, the dirty white guy. You know this guy, he stole our land. There's just some dude going, what are you talking about? I sell lawnmowers in Bemidji. No, you're the oppressor. Don't you know your white supremacy or your white privilege? What? Today on Sesame Street. So, yeah, I saw something about that. And I don't think it's true. I don't think even Sesame Street would have that. I hope not. I think the white man has a hard enough time, getting blamed for everything, taking credit for nothing. Children's Television Workshop is brought to you by the Bill Gates and Melinda P. McCartney Foundation, or whatever. I could never remember who funds Sesame Street, but I'm sure they're. I don't know. Why am I dogging Sesame Street this morning? I don't know. Yesterday I was talking about how great children's television was. Yeah, but you were talking about like all the shows they said were good for kids, like Land of the Lost. Yeah. I think children's television went wrong when they started to care. When people started to care what children are watching, they're like, hey man, we got to make this educational. And that's when they invented like Barney, the purple dinosaur. I liked it better when it was just, all right, up next, children, Tarzan. Here's the animated Tarzan. Here's a story about a guy who wears little animal skin swim trunks. He's going to be swinging around fighting gorillas. There's not going to be any kind of story, hidden message or lesson. Scooby-Doo. Before it got preachy. This will just be a story for you little guys. A mystery about ghosts. The ending will always be the same. It's going to be some white guy dressed up as a ghost who was trying to scare everybody so he could collect the insurance money when the old carnival or whatever closes up. He was just pretending to be a haunted house. And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Someday that's going to be Bill Gates. When Scooby-Doo and the gang, when they foil his plan to, by the way, I guess, what's that called? Chemtrails is real. Bill Gates, not a joke, not a conspiracy. I shouldn't be banned for saying this because it's just in the news. Bill Gates is funding a program that will have planes shoot chemtrails in the atmosphere, whatever, in the air, kind of like a volcanic eruption that would combat global warming, and then create basically nuclear fallout, a nuclear winter. Bill Gates is Mr. Burns. He's trying to figure out a way to block out the sun with chemtrails. And you go, wait, I thought you guys said we were paranoid for thinking those planes who were leaving a trail of chemicals. Oh, what are you, a conspiracy theorist? That's stupid. You think they're spraying chemtrails in the atmosphere? That's dumb. It's like, it looks like it, and I'm not saying they're poisoning us. I'm just saying they're doing something. Is it so cloudy and cold because they're already doing it? Are they trying to block out the sun? Oh, it's for your own good. What, you want global warming? It's like, yeah, I live in Minnesota. I could give 2 cares about global warming. I would love it. Oh no, the oceans will rise. Yeah, good. Do you know how good it is when the lakes rise? They have good fishing. Oh no, oh, I'm so sorry for the people who have ocean front. Wasn't that also like one of the Superman movies? I think Lex Luthor was going to blow up the beach so he could have beachfront property or something. But Bill Gates has become like a supervillain. You're like, oh no, you're being crazy. That's a conspiracy. What are you, a conspiracy theorist? No. 2 things. This isn't a theory. Supervillains exist. Because that's what a supervillain does. He wants to take over the world and do something crazy like block out the sun. At least Thanos was just trying to kill a planet. That's just one planet. Bill Gates wants to put out the sun. Oh yeah, that sounds like sound science too. Oh, it's cold. What do you want to do? Build a fire? No, let's block out the sun. How about we pollute the skies with something so it'll be never ending, Ning look good. It is cloudy. Well, talk to Bill Gates. All right, Jessica says, they're coming back to arrest you. You know too much. Yeah, I know, huh? Grieving Trio says, we can't save lives. We can only try to delay deaths. Yeah, that's exactly true. There's no saving lives, you know. Oh, I'm a cancer survivor. Well, you might have beaten it for now. You know, there's no surviving life. In the end, life, it's terminal. Jessica Gonzalez says, remember in the 90s when he was a criminal? Now he's a philanthropist. Yeah, I wanted to know, is that a Mandela effect? It's like, did something change where suddenly half the world thinks, you know, the upside down? I mean, there's a lot of screeching blue-haired women who lost their minds because they couldn't believe, and they still can't fathom that somebody like Donald Trump would be popular. Like, what? No, everybody hated it. He was a joke. That guy was famous for being a joke and for being like the rich guy you don't like. And he became the most popular president ever. And it makes no sense. And in this same reality, Bill Gates, I mean, you can't make a less cool person if you tried, is popular and trusted. Why? Yeah. Oh, he's so rich. You guys are still buying that? That was something from the 80s. Well, he can't be all bad. He makes more money than you. That used to be a comeback. Well, he's richer than you are. It's like, oh, okay. I do have to defer to somebody if they make more money. Makes more money than you. Yeah, that's true. I guess I'll shut my mouth. Just because, do you really, Graceful? Do you watch Really Graceful? If not, you will love her channel. She just put out a video about this last night. Oh, really? Really Graceful. Is she that really cute, like white-haired little angel girl? No, probably Alexandra. I watched this YouTube video about this little girl. She's a woman. She's a grown woman. But she is awake. And she is like a biblical scholar. And she talks about all this stuff. You know, the Illuminati and all, everything. And all that. She's amazing. But no, I'll have to check that out. Really Graceful. Grieving Turtle says, lack of vitamin D from the sun makes humans sick. There you go, too. He's like trying to make the world depressed and sick by blocking out our... You know, this is why people in Minnesota get so fat and drunk all the time. You're just so depressed. You go, the heck with it. I bet you pizza and beer would cheer me up. And sure enough, for 10 minutes, all your problems go away with pizza and beer. I heard once at Bemidji, a buddy of mine was kind of he worked at Walmart. He was a manager at Walmart. And he goes, yeah, apparently Bemidji Walmart sells more Tombstone pizzas, frozen pizzas, than any Walmart in the whole country. We're number one. And we're not even like the biggest city or anything. But somebody's buying up the frozen Tombstone pizzas at Walmart at record rates and drinking beer. Let's see what else is going. Well, Bill Gates loves it when humans are sick. It keeps him insanely wealthy. Yep. Line up for your vitamin D shots, kids. Yeah, that'll be the other thing. You know, get your vitamin D shots. Just normalize some mad, evil scientist shooting stuff into your blood. That's just normal. It's weird too, like just how much advertising is going into it. You got to get every like celebrity to come on. Hey man, got my vaccination. Vaccines are freedom. uh, they produce commercials of people like running through the fields, so happy that they're finally vaccinated. And, never a debate about, okay, this doesn't work unless we all do it. Oh, does it work? Do you have some sort of evidence that this is going to work? Hey, follow the science. Yeah, science needs a experiment and results. You're just saying it's freedom to don't question the government. All right. Fauci is a bigger dweeb. Yeah. How come nobody gets grossed out by Fauci? I don't take health advice from somebody who looks like a zombie, Walking Dead. Who is that guy? Why do we only get one, opinion? People get a staph infection. They're like, no offense, doctor. I'm going to get a second opinion. I'm going to see what some other doctor thinks. And the doctors are always like, yeah, sure, of course. Here's a list of people you can get a second opinion. That's smart. But when it comes to this, we got one guy. And if you hear any other doctor, which I have, they take those videos down if it's against the narrative. It's like, why don't you want us questioning the narrative? I never did until you started advertising so hard. Don't they have flu shots every year? I've gotten flu shots before. I didn't get nervous until, Lady Gaga was telling me it was my duty or whatever. Jessica says, I get grossed out by Fauci. Yeah, I don't trust him. I don't trust any of those people on TV. But, I don't know. People get annoyed when you're paranoid. There's got to be a song there. Why does annoyed and paranoid rhyme? Does my paranoia annoy ya? La-di-da-di-da-da-la-la. Okay. La-di-da-di-dum. So, today, I would like to tell the story of something related to the weather. Something related to the cloudy and to the cold. This is the story of how the weather became Ningwakod. And, whatever. Sometimes I think if I just start an intro, I'll just be inspired by Kitchi Manadu to tell a story or make one up. Hold on a sec. La la la. Cough button. Okay. So yeah, in the news. Oh, so that old King Henry or whatever, Prince Henry. Prince Henry, is that his name? The Queen Elizabeth's husband died. That guy was the best evidence that vampires were real I'd ever seen. Do you guys know his name? Is it Prince Henry? King Henry? Philip? Prince Philip? I don't know which one's which. Which one has the wife that called the whole royal family racist? And which one just died? I'm an American. I don't care. I don't give two. That's how the boys from my town would say it, but I'm not going to swear like that. I don't give two cares. I don't give two little rabbit pellets about the royal family. But, dude sounds like he needs to swallow. Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I just did a. I just coughed with the mute mic. Anyway, he was 99 years old. Yeah. Prince Philip. Thank you, Jess. Philip is one that looks like Nosferatu. Yeah, he totally looks like Nosferatu. I mean, is that real? Is he just an aged vampire? You know? Are there photographs of him from the 1700s? Paintings of him from the 1700s at least? But yeah, you saw a picture, like the last picture I saw of that guy. He was actually bleeding from the eyes in like the back of a black limousine, white, clay-like skin, and he's leaving the hospital. Leaving the hospital. Like, wait, you guys, I think you might be a little premature here. I don't think he's ready. Take him back in. He needs more blood. But I guess either that, he's either somebody finally, maybe the sun finally, there you go. That's why Bill Gates wants to blot out the sun. He's a vampire. Of course. Why didn't we see it before? So the rich and elite and powerful or whatever, the Illuminati and the top of it all are vampires. And so Bill Gates wants to blot out the sun because he can't be in the sun. That's the one thing vampires can't have. They don't like the sun. And so they're racing against the clock because they wanted to, pass this weird technology, do the chemtrails to save Prince Philip. But alas, as Shakespeare would say, but alas, I could not. And so, yeah. You know who we should get on the phone? Who's that? The Count. Maybe he'll know something about this. All right, let me give him a call. Oh, da, da, la, la, la. Oh, okay, it's ringing. Hi, Count. Yeah, it's Natasha. Do you want to be on the show? Okay, hang on. All right, he's on line 2. All right, line 2. Hey, Count. It is I, the Count. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing very well indeed. How are you, Nanaboozhoo? Oh, I'm doing pretty well. I just have some questions about you and your people. My people. That sounds so racist. Why do you have to put it like that? Well, whatever. You and vampires. Yes, what can I tell you, Nanaboozhoo? Well, I guess the first thing is, and maybe you can't even answer this. You probably can't even answer this. But was Prince Philip, undead? Prince Philip. What, you think just because he lived to be 99 and lived on the blood of the living? Yeah, because of that. I'll be honest with you. I do not know. Not every vampire knows each other. What, do you know Adam Beach? No, I don't know Adam Beach. Yeah, it's like that. Why do people assume that just because you're of one racial group that you'll know each other? Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like that. Everybody always asks me if I know Tony Troyer. It's like, well, yeah, but don't let that be. Now you're going to think all Indians know each other. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. I do not know Prince Philip. I do not know Bill Gates. I cannot tell you if they are vampires. Yeah, okay. What about Alice Cooper? Is he a vampire? No, he's not a vampire. He's just an old man. We are imitated, copied, but there are only a very few of us. True vampires, like me. Yep. Well, you're the best of them, I gotta say. What do you mean the best of them? That is so racist. You are a racist, sir. Oh, would you calm down? Okay, I'm just kidding around. Anything else I can do for you? Nanaboozhoo. Nope, you've been a big help. Kinda, but not at all. Alright, I'm gonna talk to you later, Niji. Okay. Gigawaba min, minawa. Alright, gigawaba min, minawa, Niji. I don't know. The count. He kind of called me out there. Yeah, he did. I didn't mean to imply, vampires can be very touchy. That's a generalization too. What? Now you're going to start on me? No, I'm just saying it's hard to generalize based on race. Yeah, it's true. That's what's behind all the so-called political correctness. They're trying to correct the way people, it's like, oh, right away you got to assume just because somebody looks evil and somebody just looks like a vampire, that doesn't mean that they are a vampire. So kids, this isn't directed towards the Boozhoo crew. You guys are my elders. In some cases, my peers in some cases, I'm talking to the children here. Kids, this is your Uncle Nanaboozhoo. I just want to be upfront with you, Cookie Monster. Which one of those guys called? The Count, really kind of opened my eyes. He was right. I was being racially insensitive. I was generalizing about a whole group of people based on immutable characteristics. Based on characteristics they cannot control. I think it was the Reverend Dr. Luther King. He says, let's not judge each other on our color of our skin. That makes you a racist. Let's judge each other on the content of our character. And so, I heard that he cheated on his wife a lot, and he might have been gay. So you can judge him on his character, but don't assume that that's because, he was a brother. That would be racist. Should we get old Martin Luther King on the show next time? Yeah, we could. I mean, we've had Hitler and Michael Jackson. And, hey, honey, somebody just called in. Oh, really? We got a call? Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. This is a good one for your prayer day. Really? How come? It's the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama? Yeah, get him on the line. Okay, Dalai Lama, you're on. Hello, Dalai. What do we call him? I think we call him something like Your Holiness. Okay, hey, Boozhoo, Your Holiness. Let me get rid of this OJIBWE or the gibberish cartoon. Boozhoo, Your Holiness, the Dalai Lama. Welcome to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo. Okay. Yes, sir. Wow. It's a real honor to have you on the show. What can I do for you today? You'd like to teach the OJIBWE word of the day? That's right. I would like to hear OJIBWE word of the day. Well, we already have quite a few, actually. We've got, thank you for the weather. Miigwech gaiji webuk. Yeah, can you say that? Let me teach you. I know you've just you're still kind of learning English. A lot of people want to tease you because even after 50 years of speaking English, your accent or whatever is so bad that nobody can even understand you. And I don't think that's fair. So I'm going to help you speak OJIBWE. This is how you say thank you for the weather. All right? Yeah, no problem. Okay, say miigwech. Very good. Got easy? Oh, got easy. Got easy? Oh, got easy. Just got easy. Got easy. There you go. Way buck. Oh, I buck. Okay. Now one more time. Miigwech got easy way buck. Yes. Very good. All right. Anything else I can do for you today? No, you can't teach the Ojibwe word of the day. We already covered that. This is prayer day. I took your call because, you know, I respect you so much. You're a spiritual leader, and you're not somebody that people should make fun of. There are some things we draw a line. You don't draw a picture of Muhammad, and you don't make fun of the Dalai Lama. That's what I've always said, sir. And like a mat. Yes. But in any case, I can't let you teach the Ojibwe word. I suspect I'm the only one who can really understand you. Well, yeah, they probably do disproportionately, manage a lot of the media. That doesn't mean anything. Well, to be fair, it wasn't them. It was the Romans who actually crucified him. Yeah, that's just downright racist. So I'm going to get off the phone. Okay. Yeah, Giga Dolly. Okay. I can't believe it. What's that? He writes that cool song, Jolene, 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 Jolene. But then he's such a weirdo when you actually talk to him on the phone. That's Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton? You mean yeah, you thought, no, Dalai Lama is different than Dolly Parton. Oh, okay. Well, who wrote I Will Always Love You? That's Dolly Parton too. Oh, brother, all this time I thought that was a Dalai Lama. Okay, more news. You might be surprised to find out that Jolene and I Will Always Love You were not, in fact, written by the Dalai Lama of Buddhism. That's that's not a conspiracy. That's true. Dolly Parton, the country singer. Yeah, Dolly Parton. She wrote Jolene. I don't know, man. Well, sweetie. Once again, I've run out of time. And how would you feel about not being on the show today? I'm fine with that. Yeah. Well, everybody, that's about all the time we have for today. I'm blown away. All this time, I thought Dalai Lama was the singer for those songs. Let's see what's going on here. The Grieving Turtle, she says, the Hebrew word of my tabulation count day, 1,818, means blood and is pronounced doom. Oh, interesting. Doom, dumb, doom. As is kingdom or domicile and domestic. Hikes. There's a lot of hidden meanings in our language. Like that. Jessica says, he didn't do that melting watch painting either. Salvador Dali. What? Honey, did you hear that? What? Jessica said, that melted clocks, the persistence of time? Yeah, that painting that Dalai Lama did? Yeah, no, Dalai Lama didn't do that. Well, who did it? That was Salvador Dali. Who? Salvador Dali. I guess he's a painter. Oh, you're kidding me. Yeah, okay, kids, this is the last word. Dalai Lama, he's the kind of child king of Tibet who, when China, presumably history says, invaded a magical land in the Himalayan mountains called Tibet, where peaceful Buddhists lived and worshipped, and they somehow got gold statues of Buddha up there. The evil Chinese went up there, and so he ran away, like during the, what was it, the Second World War? The First World War. Probably the Second World War. And ran away and became the Dalai Lama. And they think he was reincarnated from the Buddha. And apparently the Buddha was, I don't know, an enlightened person or something. But that's who the Dalai Lama is. He's not the guy who painted the Persistence of Memory. And he didn't write Jolene or, and I will always love you. Thank you for watching Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo. Love you. And of course, our hearts go out to the family of Prince Philip. May he rest in peace. It is not my place to say where he is. Who knows? Oh, and apparently Megan, she got a doctor's note that says, oh, you shouldn't go to that funeral. I saw this on the news. They said, oh yeah, Megan's not going to the funeral. Doctor said it would be dangerous for her to fly or something right now. And she's like, oh, darn the luck. I wouldn't feel awkward after calling everybody a racist. By not saying who said that most racist thing. Hey, how dark you think her kid's going to be? Like, not every Indian family says that, you guys. You know, whenever there's like a Indian guy who like marries a white woman, it's like, oh, I wonder what the kids are going to look like. Will they be halfway between dark and light? Or will they be like one of those families where one's got red hair and one's got black hair and one's got freckles and one's, you know, super tan? It's not racist. They're just talking. But old Megan, oh yeah, those are the royal family. I hate them. Bunch of racists. They don't like us sisters from the hood. Like, what? Oh, that's right. I forget. You identify as Janet Jackson. Okay. Well, having said that, I want to say, miigwech, ganawabieg. Thank you for watching. Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, Neeman Waindum, Omanungoom. Thank you for watching Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo. I am Nanaboozhoo. This is Natasha. Boozhoo! That's Michael Lyons. Okay. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Gigawabamin, Minowa. Hoa. Okay. And I will always love you.